welcome back. Let's get straight to work. It's time now for you to put into practice what you've been learning in the last few videos, particularly the formula, find it, change it. I've created this worksheet for you. It's, use your own words, worksheet 1. Now, what's on in this video? Well, every answer on the worksheet, or every question on the worksheet, it's as if I've already found the answer. So I want you to skip this section here. All right, you don't have to worry about finding the answer. We'll look at that shortly, and you're soon going to have to do that. But for now, I want you to look at this process of transforming the answer, of changing the answer from the ugly caterpillar into the beautiful butterfly. That's our entire focus for this worksheet. Can you read a sentence, understand the vocabulary in the sentence, and then recreate the sentence in a different way, but keeping the same meaning? So I've done the first bit. You can imagine I've found the answers for you. This is the second bit. And we'll start with this. I'm going to do the first question with you now, just so that you get an idea. So question 1 we're going to have a look at. The nuclear tests in North Korea have been condemned by the international community. You can imagine now that this was a passage all about America, the USA, North Korea. There's always tensions between those two countries. North Korea has nuclear capabilities. America doesn't trust them. North Korea doesn't trust America. And one of the questions could have been, about the reaction of other countries to the situation. And the answer might be the nuclear tests in North Korea have been condemned by the international community. Now, we know that if we write, that's our caterpillar, it's exactly as it was written down, we'll get 0. We won't get rewarded if we write that down. So we have to think about how we would change it. So I would take my time with this. And it's important at this stage. Remember, you're not sitting your National 5 exam today. You've got time. So I want you to take your time with each of these sentences. Right? It doesn't matter if they take a long, long time. So it's more important that you go through the process. So I kind of think, what do I need to change? Well, I'm looking at nuclear tests. Possibly don't want to repeat that vocabulary. Am I going to change North Korea? Well, I don't think so. I mean, what would I change it to? The country above South Korea? It's over the top. Those kind of changes aren't necessary. Have been condemned. Now, condemned is a word I can definitely change if I have a think about it. And the international community is another phrase that I'd be thinking of changing. Now, again, I mentioned this before, but I don't recommend that you go through word by word now and try and change it word by word. It's okay to do what I just did there, highlight sort of 3 or 4 phrases that need changing. But once you've done that, you can come at it from any angle. So I'm actually going to start with this idea of the international community. What are the international community? Well, generally, we're talking about all the countries of the world and the sort of the leaders of the countries. It's not you and me. We don't lead the country, but it's the prime ministers, the presidents, first ministers, things like that. So what could I call them? I'm just going to call them the government, basically. So the governments all around the world, something like that, right? The governments of the world. So what have they done? They're condemning North Korea. Now, I need to understand what that word means, to condemn. It's linked, often you can be condemned to death if you get the death penalty. When you get sentenced and they say, we sentence you to not life imprisonment, but the death penalty, that means you're condemned to death. But I can't use that word. I have to prove that I understand the meaning of that word. So what does it mean? Well, it's the idea of this international community, these governments of the world, are criticizing these nuclear tests by North Korea. Right? They're setting off bombs and they want them to stop. So criticizing is very close, but for me it's not quite strong enough. I need something stronger than criticized. Or do I? Can I not just say then strongly criticized? Because that is roughly equal to condemned. So now I'm almost there. The governments of the world have strongly criticized. Now I have to think about this, the nuclear tests. How would I describe nuclear tests? Well, I'm going to focus on the word tests to begin with. I mean, tests, we talk about the close reading test, National 5 test. It's kind of like an assessment or an examination, something like that. And for nuclear, I could probably leave nuclear as it is, or I could change it to something along the lines of atomic. So let's have a look. North Korea's ongoing assessments, so I've changed test to assessments of their atomic capabilities. So trying to put nuclear into atomic there. Now, I could do it even simpler than that. I could say the government of the world have strongly criticized North Korea's atomic explosions, atomic bombs going off. Simple as that. When I put it all together then into one straightforward answer, it looks like this. The governments of the world have strongly criticised North Korea's ongoing assessment of their atomic capabilities. The question I have to ask myself here, have I proven to the SQA that I understand that sentence above? And I clearly have, because the sentence maintains the essential meaning, but I've changed vital vocabulary and I've put it into my own words, proved my understanding, and I'm sure I'm going to get full marks there. Okay, so this is your plan. You've got 10 questions. Well, you've 9 really, because I've answered the first one for you. Give them your best shot. Try and work out the context. One of them might be a bit tricky. Number 5, I've put in brackets at the start. Many people wondered why the Thai boys went into the cave in the first place. This is a story that happened a while ago in terms of these boys got trapped in a cave system in Thailand. They're schoolboys from a football team, and they were trapped there for a long time. I don't want you to try and change that top sentence. I'm just giving you some context, some background. The sentence I want you to change is the second sentence. It appears they were taking part in a kind of initiation ritual. That's the sentence I'd like you to try and change. The first one in italics and brackets is just to give you a little bit of background, a little bit of context. Now, what happens if I get stuck? Now, it's normal to get stuck. You could get to number 2 after I've shown you number 1 and get stuck straight away. That's fine. All I'd ask that you do is that you spend a little bit of time on each one. Don't give up too quickly. Write down more than one answer. Write down a few different versions of the answer. Skip on to the next question then. So if 2 is too hard, go to 3. If 3 is too hard, go to 4. Do them in the order you find easiest for this worksheet. Some of them you'll know the vocabulary for. They'll feel easier. Some of them, the vocabulary will be challenging. So it's okay to skip around and do them in whatever order you want. Just keep them numbered so you can keep track of them. Also, if you get completely stuck, before you move on to the answer video, please do the following. Pause and look up some of the words in a thesaurus. I'm going to show you how in a second. Now, you cannot do this in the exam, right? You cannot just decide to whip out a thesaurus and help you in the exam. You have no access to dictionaries or a thesaurus. Thesaurus, remember, is just a list of synonyms, other words with similar meanings, whereas the dictionary will give us the straight meaning. But when you're practicing, when you're getting ready for the assessment, I highly recommend you do just that. How else are you going to grow your vocabulary if you don't look up new words? So we'll have a look together. I'll show you this in the browser in a second, but you're going to go to a site called Chambers, and you're going to look at search chambers. Now, Chambers do dictionaries and thesaurus. They do lots of reference books. And it's this section you're going to look for. So you can type in any word you want into this box. Look at the example, happy. Very important with the drop-down menu that you pick thesaurus, click search, and then it'll give you, look at all these other words for happy. Imagine you were writing a story and you said your character was happy. How much more interesting is it if you choose joyful or cheerful or delighted, thrilled, elated, ecstatic, rapturous, all these wonderful words. So, and there's a closer up view, just in case you're looking on a phone. You can see down the bottom here, if I circle it as best I can, that's the world's worst looking circle, but you get the idea, that you get a list of synonyms, a list of other words that are similar to the original word happy. Let's go and see what that looks like on the browser. So if I go over here to Google, or any search engine, doesn't matter which one you use, and I'm just going to type in Chambers Thesaurus. And in the search results here, I've got Chambers, the Chambers Thesaurus, I've got Chambers Thesaurus, but I like this one here that says Search Chambers. It's all bringing me to the same site, but this is bringing me to the exact place in the site that I want. Okay, and it brings me here. Now, to be very careful, let's see, we were looking at the word happy, all right? Let's look at the word sad. Now, the problem or mistake that people often make is they come here, they type in sad and hit search, all right? But that doesn't work. That doesn't give me a huge list. It just gives me the meaning, all right? Feeling unhappy or sorrowful, causing unhappiness. It's very important that you change this drop-down menu to Chambers Thesaurus. Okay, then you click search, and we'll get all these brilliant words here. Unhappy, sorrowful, tearful, grief-stricken, heavy-hearted, distressed, in low spirits, downcast, glum, crestfallen, dejected. All this wonderful, wonderful vocabulary. So if you get to a point in the question, trying to answer the questions where you're stuck, go to the thesaurus, but only after a short period of time of trying. I'm going to repeat that because it's so important. Don't just go straight to the thesaurus, because it's very important that you stress yourself first. I mean, stress your vocabulary. See, can I find a word myself? If you gain extra words afterwards by going to the thesaurus, brilliant. But if you just jump straight to the thesaurus, or if you jump straight to the video with the answers, I promise you're going to learn very, very little. But if you push yourself, even if it feels really uncomfortable, leave a pause, half an hour, a day, before going looking for the thesaurus. There'll be huge benefits, and your vocabulary will bloom and even explode if you keep this up over a long period of time. So over to you now. Go and download the worksheet if you haven't already done so. Question 1 I've shown you in the video there. Give it your best shot. Skip around, find the ones you find easiest first. Then when you've absolutely exhausted your vocabulary and you can't do it anymore, pause, go away, make yourself a cup of tea or coffee, have a break, and come back to it later with your thesaurus and try and improve upon it. And I'll see you in the next video.